So, Meg, I just want to ask you this morning, we were chatting about why do bad things happen to good people? And we always asked that question if certain things come our way. So in your case, we were discussing, recently we're actually always discussing our situations and life. What happened to your leg, in the sense of you found out you had cancer? Just take me through the journey and just explain what happened to you.
Okay, Suze, what a journey.
What a journey.
So what happened to me is, in short, the cancer spread throughout my leg. So the actual bones was infected with the cancer, and there was no way of treating that without it costing my life. So I had a full knee and fibula replacement, but from my femur to my tibia, it had been replaced. So from the top of my leg till the bottom, I basically have a prosthesis in my leg. So it's my skin and my muscles, but it's not mine.
Yes.
So I'm basically made out of titanium.
We both are. And they actually also, the doctors gave you 3 to 6 months to live.
Yes, that's correct. Because the cancer spread out through my legs and into some of my organs. So after the operation and, every other operation, I had to undergo severe chemotherapy with 2 of the strongest chemotherapies on the market. And during that process, I also had to learn how to rewalk. So
that's difficult.
And during the time that I had chemo, unfortunately, all my veins collapsed. So I had to have another emergency surgery for the portal. So it was a lot going on. 10 operations in total, 1 major limb-saving chemotherapy. So it was a lot at once.
And look at you, still beautiful and still just like full of faith. And I always say that's all we have. Last year when I met you at the modeling training years ago, you had this limp, and I was actually complaining, why do you walk like that? And I wasn't aware about, what was going on. And then last year, or the year before, I had severe pain in my leg, and I just ignored it for 11 months. And eventually decided, okay, I will go. Same with you, find out what's going on. And then they said to me, I might have the same as what you have, and I can lose my leg. And it was so dramatic, to realize this is now another storm. You have to take it, and they call me Storm. Then my husband always say Storm. And you have to walk through the storm, and what can you do? You can't just ignore it. You have to go for certain procedures. You have to stop and pause and think, this is your health. And you have your faith, and certain things you have to go through. You don't understand, and it's not, if we go back to people say, why do we go through stuff, and why do certain elements happen in our life if you're good people? So sometimes, yes, I think we bring certain things into our lives because we do not rest.
Yes.
Or we wait.
Or we don't listen to our bodies.
Absolutely.
Because there's always a little voice in your head that tells you something is wrong, and we tend to ignore it.
Absolutely. So what is your tips and advice? If you can say to people, how do I know, something is wrong? Because you might think, like I was thinking, it's just like a muscle, and I was so busy, I just don't want to go to the doctor. Hello, this is just a muscle.
Yes.
So for me, if people ask me, for myself, I always say, if you really feel, led, you have to sort this out, you should.
Yes. So definitely there's a little voice in your head that will bother you and say, sort this out. And even if you go to doctors or you go to specialists, like in my case, I was misdiagnosed twice, and due to that medical negligence and failed operations, it spread throughout my leg. So, but there was always that little voice. So I would say, listen to that voice. Take care of yourself. Rather be safe than, just leave it.
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
That can cost you your life.
Totally. And it's just, it's absolutely true. It's the same with my pacemaker when I was misdiagnosed. That you think, because you now go to the doctor, and I was very ill 3 times, and every time they also misdiagnosed me. it's a virus, and it's a virus. And I was actually high risk. So again, you have to be so careful. You have to go to the right people. And if you're still not sure, just go for a second opinion, even a
Always.
third opinion, and just do your best. That's all you can do.